Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Okay, how are you?
Good, and you, teacher?
Okay, thank you. So today we will continue our first day class, which class is not finished for the due to the load sharing. So we also try to start from the last day. Okay, so just a minute, and I also send you the recorded video class today, both of this part. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, teacher.
Right. Okay, so hi and welcome to the 7 days online training session on Google Earth Engine platform. And today we also try to continue some part of the first day, but for some difficulties, technical issue, we did not continue our class. So today we also continue from our class. So just we will start. So today mainly I will try to discuss first of all about the client and server object. So this is the very main part of Google Earth Engine platform. So Google Earth Engine platform is a totally cloud based platform, and so that's why when you want to write your code, you also need to write some server object function. Okay, first of all, what is the client object? So client object or client side means that action take place on the user's computer, and client's object or client side, it has the no relation with web server or web application. It's mainly action take place on the user's computer, and it is the no relation with the web server. Okay, but when you want to work with the server object, this server object or server side means that action take place on a web server, so it has the relation with the web server. So mainly in this time we use here the Google Earth Engine platform, and Google Earth Engine is a cloud based platform or server based platform. So that's why when you want to run your code from the Earth Engine server, then you also need to add here the some server function. Otherwise, this code is not run from the Earth Engine server. I also give you some practical example about this. So here you can see two code, first code and second code. You can see in this time this is the code for first. You can see this is the code for the client. Okay, mainly there is the no relation with the server object, but second number of code you can see it has also some server object function. So in this code is executed from the server. So in this time I also show you the practical example that how you can get the server to execute your code. So mainly when you want to run the code from the server, then you also need to add some server object function. In Google Earth Engine platform has a lot of server object function. I also try to show you that all of the things. So I simply open my code editor, then show you the practical example, then you can easily understand about the server object and client object function. So I simply open my code editor. So in this time here you can see my code editor. This is my code editor, and here the network connection is not so good, so this why it takes some time. In this time you can see this is my code editor. So just a minute, so take some time because the network connection is not so good. So in this time, I want to show you the practical example of client and server object, about the client and server object. So first of all, I show you the client object. You can see I simply put the comment client side. So I simply take a variable and give the variable name is that suppose small a, and then put the variable name is that 100, assign the value 100, and take the another variable is the another suppose b, and I assign the value is at the 20, and then I simply just take the another variable c, and then I simply add this a and b, and just I simply print this c, and then click to the run. You can see I can get the result 120. But this 120, this code here, you can see this code has the no relation with Earth Engine server, because I did not use any server object function in here. You can get all of the Earth Engine server function under the docs tab. You can get all of the docs tab. Okay, this is the client side because I did not add here any server object function. In this time, suppose I want to write the code and I want to execute this code from the server. So I simply take the comment for the server, and then I simply take a variable, suppose capital A. In this time, I want to take the value from the server. When you want to take the value from the server, you must be use here the server function. As a beginner, you don't know what is the server function for create a new number. You can simply go to the docs tab and search here number. Simply search here number. Here you can get all of the function about the related to the number. So I simply find out a function about the number, and here you can find all of the function. All of the function is the server object function of Google Earth Engine platform, and this server object function is the same when you want to use the Python API, or when you want to use the JavaScript API, or when you want to use the R programming language. All of the times this server function is the same. Okay, so it's totally depend on the server object of Google Earth Engine platform. We can use this server object function in different types of programming language. Sometime we can write the function using the JavaScript program. Sometime we can write the function using the Python programming. Sometime we can use the function using the R programming. But this is the core function. Okay, so here you can get all of the function in Earth Engine server function, but we can write the function using different types of programming language. If you want, you can use the JavaScript, Python, R, but this function is the same because it's a totally server object function of Google Earth Engine platform. But we can run this function using different types of programming language. It can be JavaScript, it can be Python, it can be R. Okay, so in this time you can say I want to create a new number. So that's why I need to call the server object function, which function is create for a new number. So I simply click on the e.new number. You can see what is the description about this function. You can see mainly we can use this function for construct a new number. When you want to create any new number, or when you want to define any new number in the server of Google Earth Engine platform, then you need to use here the ee.number, this function. I just simply copy this function and paste here. Okay, and I define the value. Suppose I use 100. In this time you can see it will be stored the variable a. This variable a is stored a value 100, but in this time this value is stored in the server of Google Earth Engine platform, because I use here the server object function. Okay, I do for the same thing for the another things. I take the variable capital B and use here that this thing is the ee.number. I simply put the value is the suppose 20. So here you can see I take the another variable. This variable name is that B, and then I simply put the variable is the 20. In this time, this 100 and this 20, both of this number I just stored in the A and B, and in this time it is stored in a server. Okay, so I simply take the another variable, suppose capital C, and then I put here the A plus B. I want to check the result. I simply print the capital C and then click to the run. You can see I did not get the result. I did not get the result because what's the reason I did not get the result? Because you can see this is the plus sign. This plus sign is totally unknown for the server. Server is not known about this plus sign, but this plus sign is work in the client side, but this plus sign is not work in the server side, because server has another new function instead of this plus sign. Okay, so what is this function for instead of the plus sign? I want to find it. So I simply, you can see this is, it's called the add function. So server has another function, this function called the add. Mainly this add function is due for the addition. Okay, so mainly this function is addition with the two number. So here you can see what adds the first value to the second. So mainly when I use this function add function, it will be add the first value. Here my first value is that A and second value is that B. Okay, so I simply just copy this variable function. Then I simply paste here. Okay, I just paste here. In this time you can see what is the second value. Second value is that B. I simply put the B, and you can see this is the A and this is the B, and this is the add function. I want to add function with A, so that's why I simply use here the dot notation in here. Now this function add function is added with A and B and adds the first value to the second value B. When I click to the run, you can see now it will be computing, number computing. You can see in the console tab it's showing the number computing, and this number is computing from the Earth Engine server, because I use here the server object function in here. Okay, so you can see it will be just showing the number computing. Okay, you can see, but first time you can see this is the client side. It will be, it has the no relation with the Earth Engine server, so that's why it only showing the 120. But when I want to use here this, you can see it will be showing the number computing. When I run this code, it's showing the number computing, because in this time this code is executed from the Earth Engine server. You can see. Okay, so let's go another example. Suppose I want to create a list. I simply take a variable and make the list for the country. When you want to use the list, you use here the square bracket, and I just simply put here my item is that Bangladesh. Then also it here the India, Then I suppose it had the Saudi Arabia, another item. Suppose I want to add here the another item is that Nepal. Okay, and when I want to just print this country and then click to the run, you can see it will be showing my result, but this list is totally executed from client side. It has the no relation with Earth Engine server. Okay, I want to execute this list. I want to execute this list from the server. So I can simply take the another variable. Suppose you can use any variable name. I simply use here the server list. You can use any name, no problem. Okay, then I simply go to the docs tab and I want to find out the server object function, which function is created the list in the server of Earth Engine. I want to simply search here. I search here the list. So here I find all of the function about the list. You can see I simply go to the below. You can see this is the function ee.list. So here you can see we mainly use the function for construct a new list. When you want to create the list, then you need to use this function ee.list. I simply copy this function and paste here. And in this time, I just simply copy the list from here again. Okay, copy the list from here again and paste here. In this time, I want to just print this list. I want to just print this server, this variable. I simply print. In this time, you can see the console tab is that it's showing the list computing. You can see when I run this, you can see list computing. It means that in this time, this list is executed from the server. But first time, you can see there is nothing happened because this is a totally client side. You can see there is nothing happened for the 120 and this list. There is nothing happened. But when I want to run this code, you can see it will be showing the computing number as well as also showing the computing list, computing number and computing list. And this computing is come from the Earth Engine server. So mainly Google Earth Engine is a totally cloud-based platform. We can write the code and this code send a message to the server, and in a matter of second, the server send you response or the server send you feedback. So when I click to here, you can see it will be showing the number computing and list. So all of the function, all of the code when you want to run in Google Earth Engine platform, we are all time using the server object function, and we can get all of the server object function under the docs tab. Okay, so here you can see this is a lot of function in the under the docs tab. Okay, so mainly all time when I write the code in Google Earth Engine platform for remote sensing analysis, all time I use here this server object function, and we can get all of the documentation about the server object function about the docs tab. Okay, we can simply use the docs tab, all of the function, and we can easily work. We don't need to memorize anything. We can just write the function and we can easily find out the function, and we can easily see the function, what is the task of this function. We can simply copy this function and simply add our code, then it will be okay. Okay, so mainly this is the difference for the client and server object. Okay, so in this time, if you have any question or any doubt, you can ask me any question, any doubt about this client and server object. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so any question or any doubt about this part for client and server object?
No, thanks.
Okay, and I also send you this practice code so that you can also practice and face any problem, then you can easily contact with me and get the solution. Okay, so I simply
Okay.
copy this code link. Okay, so in this time I simply go to my next slide and try to discuss about this.